Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Myself Shweta Mal from Green Valley English School is here to teach you class 8 biology. We started the chapter ecosystem and in our last class we studied about types of ecosystem. Today we will go through the topic interdependence of plants and animals. We have learned earlier in this chapter that living organisms cannot live independently. They are dependent on each other and abiotic components to survive. What I told that living organisms cannot live independently. They are dependent on each other for their survival as well as on abiotic components also. So let us know about dependence of animals on plants. Animals directly or indirectly depend on plants for their food. Tall trees give shelter to various animals. Most birds make their nests or branches of trees. Animals like monkeys and apes live on trees, and plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. It is utilized by animals for respiration. So, what is the dependence of animals on plants? Animals directly or indirectly depend on plants for their food, and as well as tall tree gives shelter to various animals, and some of the birds make their nest on branches of the trees. Animals like monkeys and apes live on trees and plant produce oxygen during photosynthesis that is utilized by all living organisms for respiration. Now let us know about dependence of plants on animals. Animals produce carbon dioxide during respiration. It is used by plants for making their food by the process of photosynthesis, and some animals help pollinate flowers. Examples are butterflies, honeybees, birds and bats, and some animals help in the dispersal of fruits and seeds over large areas, and animals excreta and their dead remains or dead bodies get decomposed and convert to humus that is in the soil, and the humus act as a manure and provides nutrients or minerals for the growth of the plants. The different ways that animals and plants are interdependent in an ecosystem because they depend on each other for the basic survival needs like food, protection, shelter and propagation. Plants provide food for animals and humans who cannot make their food like plants. Okay? This picture we can see that giraffe and elephant are eating plants. So they are dependent on plants. One of these birds is eating berries found on a plant. Can you see this? Bird is eating berries, the other seeds from a flower. Okay, this bird is eating seeds from a flower and this bird is eating berries from plant. So this way they are dependent, and animals that eat other animals are called as carnivores. Carnivores eat animals such as rabbits and mice, but these animals eat plants. So in the long run, all animals. Now living animals. Some birds use holes in cacti or trees for their homes, and some water. Small animals like possums live in hollow trees. Remember, when plants make food, they take in carbon dioxide from the air and give off oxygen. Animals in turn breathe in that oxygen. Plants add oxygen to the air. Without plants to replace the oxygen in air, that animals would die. So, as I told you that animals are dependent on plants as well as plants are dependent on animals. So, dependence of animals on plants are in the way that animals directly or indirectly depend on plants for food, and As you know that trees gives us shelter and it is a home for various animals, and some birds also make their nest on the branches of the trees. Animals like monkeys, they live on trees, so it is home for some of the animals. And as you know that plant produce oxygen during photosynthesis as a byproduct that is utilized by all living organisms during respiration. Now, dependence of plants on animals. When we talk about animals, they produce carbon dioxide during respiration, and this carbon dioxide is utilized by plants to make their food during the process of photosynthesis. And some animals help pollinate flowers, and examples are butterflies, honeybees, birds and bats. And some animals help in the dispersal of fruits and seeds over large areas. Animals' excreta and their dead bodies get decomposed and convert to humus, that is in the soil, and the humus act as a manure and provide nutrients or minerals for the growth of the plant. Okay, now let us know about types of interdependence. Living organisms are dependent in many ways like symbiosis, parasitism and predation. What I told you that living organisms are interdependent in many ways like symbiosis, parasitism and predation. As I told you that ecosystem refers to the community of organisms living in the same habitat together with the non-living environment. All the living organisms and the non-living environment such as water, soil and air are made up of an ecosystem. Interaction between living organisms. As I told you that interaction between living organisms is dependent in many ways like symbiosis, parasitism and predation. Here it is divided into predator, symbiosis and competition. Symbiosis is further divided into commensalism, mutualism and parasitism. Now let us know about symbiosis. What is symbiosis? Symbiosis is a relationship between two organisms in which both organisms get mutual benefit. What is symbiosis? Symbiosis is a relationship between two organisms in which both the organisms get mutual benefit. For example, lichen consists of alga and fungus. The alga provide food to the fungus and the fungus provides protection, water and minerals to the alga. So what is symbiosis? Symbiosis is a relationship between two organisms in which both organisms get mutual benefit. Example is lichen, and lichen consists of alga and fungus, and what happens? The alga provides food to the fungus and the fungus provides protection, water and minerals to the alga. Clear? Now another example is of Rhizobium bacteria and leguminous plants like pea. Rhizobium bacteria live in the root nodules of leguminous plants like gram, pea, moong, and they take in atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into nitrates. What they do? They take in the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into nitrates, and this is taken in by the plants, and in return the plants provide food and shelter to the Rhizobium bacteria. Symbiosis happens between two or more different species which live close together and interact with each other. There are three types of symbiosis, that is commensalism, mutualism and parasitism. What is commensalism? Commensalism is a relationship between two organisms. The commensalist benefits for the host. Example, Remora fish is a commensal. It feeds on the scraps of food left by the shark, and the shark is unharmed. Now the staghorn fern grows on a tree. This helps it easily obtain sunlight to process photosynthesis, and examples of plants that live on trees the stoghorn fern, the money plant, the pigeon orchid, and the bird's nest fern. Now let us know about mutualism. Mutualism is an interaction between two different organisms that live together in which both organisms benefits. Mutual is there. Mutual, what is mutualism? Mutualism is an interaction between two different organisms that live together in which both organisms are benefited and they obtain nutrition and shelter from each other. And what is its example? Its example is the Egyptian plover, bird and crocodiles. The Egyptian plover eats fleas and the ticks crocodile as well as food particles stuck between crocodile's teeth. Lichens consist of fungi and algae living together. The algae produce food and the fungi produce shelter. Now let us know about the parasitism. What is parasitism? The type of interaction in which an organism gets benefit from the other organism in the form of food or shelter is called as parasitism. What is parasitism? The type of interaction in which an organism gets benefit from other organism in the form of food or shelter is called parasitism, and the organism that gets the benefit is called the parasite. What is the organism called which gets the benefit? It is called parasite, and the organism from which benefit is derived is called the host. The organism from which the benefit is derived is called the host, and an example of parasitism is tapeworm, that is a parasite, and humans, that is a host. And tapeworm lives in the intestines of humans and get nutrition. Head lice live on human heads and suck blood. And cuscuta, that is a marble, it is a non-green plant. It gets ready-made food from the host. Clear? Parasitism is an interaction between two organisms. Only one organism is benefited. A parasite is the organism that lives on or inside the other organism. The host of the organism on which the parasite lives. The host is negatively affected by the interaction. The parasite may even kill the host. Example is tapeworm. It is a parasite and it lives in human intestine. Tapeworm obtains food and shelter from humans, and humans loses weight and becomes weak. This much is clear? So, now let us know about predation. Let us know about predation. What is predation? The type of interaction in which a larger organism attacks, kills and feeds on a smaller organism is called as predation. What is predation? The type of interaction in which a larger organism attacks, kills and feeds on smaller organism, it is called as predation. And the organism that attacks is called the predator. The organism which attacks it is called the predator, and the organisms that get killed is called the prey. The organism that gets killed is called the prey, and all the carnivores except scavengers are predators. All the carnivores are predators except scavengers. Examples are lion, tiger, leopard. Prey-predator is a relationship where an animal captures and eats other animals. What I told you, the type of interaction in which a larger organism attacks, kills and feeds on smaller organism is called as predation. A predator is an organism that kills and eats other organism. A prey is the organism that is eaten. For example, snake is a predator and rat is its prey. Other examples are owl is a predator and rat is a prey. Tiger, it is a predator and goat or deer is a prey. Frog, it is a predator and insect is prey. Okay. Now, in our next class, we will study about flow of energy. Thank you, students.